like something you would see if a pandemic wasn't happening in the country. There's about 1,500 chairs out here tonight. You could already hear the music behind me. The program is getting started and they're urging people to take their seats. But Anderson, those seats are certainly not 6 feet apart. They're about 6 inches apart if you look at them, and we are told it's 1,500 chairs. They're expecting about 2,000 guests, so 500 or so will be standing. And while, of course, the South Lawn is a big place, there's a lot of room to stand, but you do see people. If you look over my right shoulder, there's a lot of people crowding already up near the front. Of course, that's where the action is going to be. And so, of course, a big question going into this, as one we've had with other events this week, is whether or not everyone was tested. The White House would not say, but they did send us a statement from the campaign that said they worked with a medical company. They say they're adhering to CDC protocols and DC Department of Health protocols, and that people have been on site from that company, the medical company they're working with, to make sure they're adhering to that. But we also spoke to the chief of staff before this, who said only that a number of people would be tested beforehand. He did not say how many, and it's hard to see how they are going to test 1,500 people, given that we've already seen several prominent figures here, people like Senator Lindsey Graham, who I asked if he had been tested before he came in, and Anderson, he said that he had not. So that is something to keep in mind as you're looking at this. The White House is justifying it by saying there's a pandemic going on, we couldn't have gone to a lot of other places, but the president certainly wanted this big crowd here tonight. It's the biggest crowd he's addressed in months, and so you can see behind me that there is not the social distancing going on that we expected, and you're seeing people shake hands, hug, greet each other like it would be in normal times.
It certainly looks like that. Caitlin, thank you. Now to Jim Acosta. Jim, first of all, have you ever seen, there were jokes during the first campaign that Donald Trump would put his name on the White House. There are obviously now large signs with his name on it. Has there ever been a campaign event like this at the White House?
No, Anderson. I mean, this is a Trump rally on the South Lawn of the White House. There is no other way to describe it. I've never personally witnessed anything like this in my 8 years covering the White House in either the Obama administration or the Trump administration, but this is obviously how the president wants it. It's almost as if he is trolling people who are concerned about testing and masks and the coronavirus and so on. With this production tonight, they have the seats packed together as closely as you can possibly get them. And as for the speech, I will tell you, a senior Trump campaign advisor said the president will hit this law and order theme hard tonight. The advisor explained to me, quote, "This is how we win suburban moms back," in acknowledgement of Trump's shaky standing with women voters. Top advisor Stephen Miller is leading the writing team in drafting tonight's speech. As for the situation in Kenosha, Wisconsin, Mr. Trump is likely to address the unrest in the streets of U.S. cities, but aides are tight-lipped about whether Mr. Trump will mention the police shooting of Jacob Blake. Now, White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows told me earlier this evening he did reach out to representatives from Blake's family earlier today to offer President Trump sympathies. Meadows said the president has seen the video of Blake being shot by police, something the president would not address when he was asked about this earlier today. But getting back to the content of the president's speech, in a lot of these addresses at conventions, Anderson, the president or nominee likes to pull at people's heartstrings. Listening to Trump campaign advisors, it sounds like he wants to scare the hell out of everybody. Anderson?